Yes. Now we will see what is the additional topic covered in time of supply chapter for CS executive guys. One extra section is covered for you, that is section 14 of CGST Act. Okay. So what is it guys? Listen here. See, there is a change in the rate of GST. Assume from 1st to July 26, there is a change in the rate of GST on my goods. Assume I am supplying pen. Before this, okay, let me draw like this. Before 1st July, the rate of GST on my pen, assume was 12% people. Now they have made it as 5%. From 1st July 26, they have made it as 5%. Is there a possibility like this to increase or decrease the rate of GST? Yes. In my example, I have reduced it. Sir, can they increase it also? Yes. Anything can happen. But in this case, guys, whenever there is a change in the rate of GST, there might be few events which are happening here. There are few events which is happening here. In that case, I am confused. Sir, what is the time of supply? What is the rate applicable? What is the rate applicable? That is where section 14 is helping us. So section 14 is telling, first identify where did supply takes place. Where did supply take place? Is it before 1st July or on or after 1st July? I repeat, first thing, guys, we need to identify three things. Observe here, three things we need to identify. When did supply take place? Okay. Second thing, okay, let me write it in the bottom because I will have sufficient place. Okay. Three things we need to identify. When did supply takes place? Okay. Second thing is date of payment. Third thing is date of invoice, guys. These three events are important for us as per section 14. So whenever there is a change in the rate of GST, we need to apply section 14. What is section 14 is telling us, first priority is to check whether supply happened before 1st July or is it happening on or after 1st July. Check that. Assume supply is happening. Guys, supply, date of supply. I will write date of supply is before 1st July. Then check out of the remaining two, that is 2 and 3, which is falling on the supply side. Which is falling on the supply side. Assume invoice date is before 1st July, but payment date is after 1st July. Invoice date. Okay, let me show it, write it here better. Date of invoice is year, but date of payment is year. So they're telling time of supply is invoice, which is on the supply side. Which is on the supply side. Sir, what if it is vice versa, sir? For example, date of invoice is year, whereas date of payment is okay. Date of payment is on the supply side, whereas invoice is on after the change. In that case, what is the time of supply, people? Date of payment. What is the time of supply? Date of payment. Sir, what if both are after? Possibility is there. Sir, what if both are after? Date of invoice as well as date of payment. Both are after, but supply is before. In that case, we need to take whichever is earlier, guys. Whichever is earlier. I repeat this. I repeat it. Please listen. When is section 14 applicable, Tanuja? When is section 14 applicable? Whenever there is a change in the rate of GST. Now I want to know, sir, what is the time of supply and what is the rate applicable? Is it 12%? Is it 5%? Clear? Please pay attention. Very easy actually. If you don't understand, definitely it will confuse you. Or if you understand, very easy. First thing I need to identify is what? When did supply take place? Did supply takes place before the change or on or after the change? First scenario, let me take before the change. So date of supply is what, guys? On or before? Sorry, before 1st July. Before 1st July. Okay, sir. Then remaining two dates are there, no? Date of payment, date of invoice. Check which is on the supply side. Which is on the supply side. Assume on the supply side, date of payment is there. What is the time of supply? Date of payment. And what would be the rate applicable? 12%. Okay. Sir, on the supply side, payment is on this side, sir. Invoice is on this side, sir. Then, what is the time of supply? Date of invoice. On the date of invoice, what is the GST rate? 12%. That is applicable. Sir, what if both are on the other side, sir? Supply is before, whereas both is on after side. Then we need to take whichever is earlier. And what would be the new rate applicable? 5%. What is the GST rate applicable? The new rate, which is 5%. Is that clear? First, we need to lock time of supply. And whatever is the rate on the date of time of supply, that will be applicable on the value of supply, guys. Is that clear? We need to always apply the GST rate on what? The value. Value of supply as computed under section 15. Now here, as there is two rates, sir, 12 or 5 are. I am confused, sir. Which one should I apply, sir? It depends on first time of supply. Once I lock in the date, on that day, whatever is the rate, that will be the rate applicable on value of supply. Is that clear? Yes. Now let me slightly change the scenario. Okay. Now I will go with the reverse scenario, guys. Sir, supply is falling on the after side, sir. Date of supply is on or after 1st July 2026. That is on or after the change. Okay. Check where is the date of payment and date of invoice. If any one is on this side, if any one is on this side, then what would be the time of supply? That date. Sir, what if both are on this side? Whichever is earlier. Whichever is earlier. Let me explain. Let me explain. Date of supply is when, guys? When supply took place? On or after 1st July. Okay. Now assume date of payment is on this side, whereas date of invoice is on this side. Which is on the supply side? Date of invoice. So what would be the time of supply? Date of invoice. What is the rate? 5%. Clear? Next, let me change it. Assume date of payment is on this side, whereas date of invoice is on this side. Is that clear? Yes. Which is on the supply side, guys? Date of payment. So what is the time of supply? Date of payment. What is the rate applicable on that day? 5%. 5%. Is that clear? Yes, guys. Sir, what if both are on opposite side, sir? Both are on opposite side. We need to take whichever is earlier. Whichever is earlier. And on that day, what would be the rate? 12%. That is the rate applicable. That is the rate applicable, which is 12%, guys. Okay, sir. This is what is covered in section 14. Now you might get doubt. Sir, what if all three is on one side? All three is on one side. For example, listen here. Date of supply is here. Even date of payment and date of invoice is on this side. All three is on one side. Then section 14 is not at all applicable. Section 14 is not at all applicable. If it is a goods, we need to decide the time of supply as per section 12. If it is a services, we need to decide the time of supply as per section 13. When is section 14 applicable, people? Is, sir, there is a change in the rate of GST, so, and few events has happened before the change, few events has happened after the change, sir. In between, we are there. How do we decide the time of supply? That is where section 14 will help you. Listen. There are three important dates, no people? Three important dates. What is it? Date of supply, date of payment, and date of invoice. If all three is on before the change, should we apply section 14? No. If it is a goods, section 12. If it is a services, section 13. Next, sir, what if all three is on this side, sir? Same story. Either 12 or 13. Section 14 will not have any role. When is section 14 applicable is, people, please be careful. There is a change, sir. There is a change in the rate of GST. Few things happened here, few things happened here. Now I am confused. What is the time of supply? What is the rate applicable? Old rate or new rate? Accordingly, we need to check section 14. Did you guys understand? Quickly, I will repeat. Very simple, very easy section, guys. Section 14 is applicable when, people, whenever there is a change in the rate of GST. Clear? Obviously, everyone will not apply this. Only assume I am supplying the product for which rate is there. The change of the GST rate happened. Clear? From 12% it became 5%, or from 18% it became 5%, or from 18 it became 40%. Should we apply this section 14? Yes. But only for the transition period, not forever. Only for that transition period. That is, any transaction which has happened before this or immediately after this. Only for that it might affect. Sir, assume 1st July change happened, sir. Now I continued. I supplied something in November. Invoice is issued in November. Payment is made in November. Should I worry about section 14? No. Why? Everything is after change. Everything is after the change. So I need to apply section 12 for goods, or if it is a services, section 13, guys. Did you understand? Yes. So now listen. I will repeat. Guys, whenever there is a change in rate of GST, we need to apply section 14. Three important things are there for section 14. What is it? Date of supply, date of payment, date of invoice. First thing we need to check is supply. When did supply take place? Is it before 1st July, or is it on or after 1st July? First lock that. Assume that date of supply is on this side. I will erase this. Date of supply is on before 1st July, means before the change. Now I need to look out of this two is anything on this side. Either of these two is on this side, Anta, I should check it. Assume date of payment is here, whereas date of invoice is after. What would be the time of supply? Date of payment. And what is the rate applicable? Old rate. Okay, sir. I will slightly change the scenario now. Assume date of payment is after, but date of invoice is before. So which is on the supply side? Date of invoice. So what is the time of supply? Date of invoice. And what would be the rate, people? 12%. 12%. Old rate. Sir, what if both are on the after side? Supply is on before, whereas both the date of payment and date of invoice is on or after 1st July. In that case, I need to take whichever is earlier. Whichever is earlier. And on that day, what is the rate, people? New rate. As both will come on or after 1st July. Oh, now let me take a reverse scenario. Sir, no, sir. Supply is after, sir. Date of supply is after the change. Then look for these two dates. Look for these two dates. Now assume the date of payment is on this side, whereas date of invoice is before. Which is on the supply side, people? Date of payment. So what is the time of supply? Date of payment. What is the rate applicable? 5%. 5%. Okay. Next one. Date of invoice is on this side, whereas date of payment is on before. Which is on the supply side? Date of invoice. So what is the rate on that day? 5%. 5% will be applicable. Is that clear? Yes. Okay. Chalo. Now you might also ask me, this is not covered in section 14, but I'm just telling it. Sir, supply is after the change. What if this two is also after the change? Both are after the change. Is it covered in section 14? No. They're telling all the things are happening after the change. Should we apply section 14? No. We need to go as per section 12 or 13, depending upon whether it is goods or services. But sir, you're teaching section 14. Is it same for both goods as well as services? Yes, it is same. Whether it is goods or services, it is same, guys. There is no separate provision for goods and separate provision for services when there is a change in the rate of GST. Section 14 deals both. Whereas if it is not the change in rate of GST, then we have learnt it separately. For goods separately, services separately, which has 6 subsections each. Okay, sir. Chalo. Sir, what if both falls before, sir? Supply is after, but both falls under before category. Then in that case, we need to take whichever is earlier. Whichever is earlier. And on that day, what is the rate? Old rate. Old rate will be applicable. That is 12%. Okay, sir. Hope you guys understood. This is what is covered in section 14. And please be careful, guys. For section 14, we are covering only 3 dates. We are only worried about 3 dates. What is it? When did supply take place? When the invoice is issued. Date of invoice. That is actual date. Sir, should we worry about the due date of invoice and all here? No. Then date of payment. Date of payment. That's it. That's it. And date of payment from whose point of view? Supplier's point of view. Not from recipient point of view. Because from recipient point of view, it will be different. When I am thinking from supplier's point of view, what is the date of payment? Date of credit in his bank account or the date on which he record the receipt entry. Whichever is earlier. Correct? Yes. But if I think it from recipient point of view, it is different. Date of debit in the bank account or the date on which he will pass the payment entry in his books. Whichever is earlier, guys. Yes. Let me read the provisions now. Pay attention. Time of supply in case of change in the rate of tax. Section 14 of CGST Act 2017. Section 14 of CGST Act 2017 defines the time of supply where there is a change in the rate of tax in respect of both, underline that, goods as well as services. Both are there. Both are there. Okay, sir. Okay. Taxable goods or services or both has been supplied before the change in rate of tax. Means, sir, listen. Supply happened before the change. In my example, assume the change happened on 1st July. When did supply take place? Before the change. Before the change. Yes, sir. In that case, 14A is telling check which is on the supply side. Please be careful. Which is on the supply side? Supply before or after? Supply is before or after? Hello? Before. Okay. Invoice issued before the change, whereas receipt of payment is after the change. So which is on the supply side, people? Invoice. So what is the time of supply? Date of invoice. Date of invoice. Next. Sir, I will go to the last scenario. You can observe here. Invoice is after the change, but payment is before the change. Which is on the supply side? Supply is before. Which is on the supply side? Payment. So what is the time of supply? Date of payment. Date of payment. Now, supply is before the change, but both are after the change, sir. Middle one. Both are after the change. What should I take? Whichever is earlier. That is date of invoice or date of payment. Whichever is earlier. Got it? Yes. Next, coming to the second scenario. Taxable goods or services or both has been supplied after the change in rate of tax. After the change means, sir, when did supply take place? On or after 1st July? On or after 1st July in that case. Oh. So first check which is on the supply side. Which is on the supply side means which is after. Okay. Invoice is before. No. Payment is after. Payment is after. So which is on the supply side? Payment. So time of supply is date of payment. Okay. Next, I will go to the last case. Invoice is after, which is on the supply side, whereas payment is before. So here supply is after the change and invoice is also after the change. What should I take? Time of supply. Date of invoice. Date of invoice. The middle one. Sir, supply happened after the change, but both these dates are before the change, sir. Invoice date as well as payment date, both are before. What should we do? We need to take whichever is earlier. We need to take whichever is earlier, guys. Okay. Sir, what is date of payment? Everywhere here you gave date of payment, date of payment. No. What is date of payment? That is from supplier's point of view. Please be careful. Date of receipt of payment shall be the date on which the payment is entered in the books of accounts of the supplier, or the date on which the payment is credited to his bank account, whichever is earlier. Please be careful. We are deciding here from whose point of view? Supplier's point of view. So supplier will make the payment or receive the payment, people? Receive the payment. When he receive the payment, his bank account would be debited or credited? Credited. Clear? Yes. The date on which supplier's bank account is credited, or the date on which he will record the entry. Which entry, people? He will receive the payment or make the payment? Receive. So will you pass receipt entry or payment entry? Receipt entry. That in his books of accounts, he will pass the entry na bank account debit or cash account debit to so and so. Clear? On what day did he pass that entry? Whichever is earlier. Even in section 12 and 13, we have studied it, especially section 13. When it is taxable under forward charge mechanism, date of payment is one of the thing, no? We have under section 13, subsection 2. Correct? Yes, date of payment is one of the criteria. For services, even if advance is received, it is taxable, right? Date of payment is one of the date to decide the time of supply. Same way here. Same way here. Yes. Sure. But they are giving one provision here, which is telling, however, if the date of receipt of payment shall be the date of credit in the bank account, if such credit in the bank account is after the 4 working days from the date of change in the rate of tax. Guys, listen here. What they are telling is, okay, let me observe this. Date of change is 1st July. Date of change in the rate of GST is 1st July. Assume on, let me erase this. The payment entry is passed. Payment entry in the books of supply, sorry, receipt entry, not payment entry. The receipt entry is passed in the books of supplier on, assume 4th July. 4th July 26. But credit to his bank account is assume on credit to bank account, okay, is on 10th July. 10th July 26. Guys, is there a more than 4 days gap here? Yes, more than 4 working days gap. They're telling ignore this date. Don't take whichever is earlier. They're straight away telling take the date of credit. Take the date of credit. I repeat, if the date of credit into the bank account of the supplier, if it is after 4 working days from the date of change, they're straight away telling ignore this date and take only date of credit as what? Date of payment. Is that clear? Yes. Sir, what if credit is within 4 working days or before the change? Then should we take both the dates and take whichever is earlier? Yes, we need to take whichever is earlier. Hope you guys are understanding. I repeat. Date of payment means what, people? Earlier of 2 dates. Clear? Huh? Earlier of 2 dates. That is date of credit or date of receipt entry in the books of accounts. In the books of accounts, we need to take whichever is earlier. But now they're telling only for section 14. Please be careful. What I'm teaching now is only for section 14. Don't go and apply it for 12, 13 and all. Please be careful. Yes. Now they're telling if this date of credit is after 4 working days after the change, then ignore this date. Ignore this date. Straight away take date of credit into the bank account as what? Date of payment. Now you might ask me, sir, what if it is within 4 working days? For example, date of credit is on 2nd July only or 3rd July only. Or else it was before 1st July, sir, date of credit. In that case, should we take whichever is earlier? Yes, we need to take whichever is earlier. Hope you guys are understanding. So you should be worried about this paragraph, guys. This paragraph you should be worried about only if date of payment is after the change, and observe if date of credit is given, is there a more than 4 working days gap? Clear? If the date of change and date of credit into the bank account, if the gap is more than 4 working days, straight away take date of credit as what? Date of payment. Is that clear? But most of the time what they will do is they will not give these 2 dates separately, guys. They will not give these 2 dates separately. In the question itself, they will give date of payment. Clear? Straight away they will give it. You just check it. Is it before? Is it after? And accordingly decide the time of supply. Is that clear? Yes. This is one tricky thing. Please be careful with this. This one. Okay. Oh, fine, guys. Section 14 done. Let me just go and do the illustration for it. Supply was made on 10th May 2025. Okay. From the following particulars, find out the rate of GST applicable. Change of rate on 31st May 2025. Rate has been changed from 12 to 5%. Guys, important. Rate of GST has been changed from 12 to 5. What is the old rate? 12. What is the new rate? 5%. When did change happen? 31st May. And when did supply happen, Lubna? When did supply happen? 10th May. Before the change, after the change? Before the change, after the change? Before the change of, hey, change is on 31st May. Supply happened on 10th May. Will 10th May come before 31st May or after 31st May? Hey, I have family. I should go back to Bangalore, man. Huh? Heart attack. You will make me to get heart attack. I will repeat. Change happened on 31st May. Deepti Street. Pushpa. Supply happened on 10th May. 10th May will come before the 31st May, na? After 31st May, na? Before. Okay. So, supply happened before the change. Supply happened before the change. Okay. Let me draw it here only. 31st May 25. This is the date of change. Date of supply is on this side. When is it? 10th May 25. Okay. Before the change. Observe. Invoice date is 5th June. After. Payment received 6th July. After. Guys, supply is before, but invoice and payment both are after. What should we do? Take whichever is earlier. Whichever is earlier. Okay, you can see, I will just mention you. Date of payment is also on this side, whereas date of invoice is also on this side. In the given case, supply was made before the change in the rate of tax. That is on 10th May 2025. Date of invoice and date of payment both are after the change. Hence, time of supply will be earlier of 2 events. That is the date of invoice and date of receipt of payment, which in this case would be 5th June 2025. Okay, therefore, so earlier of the two things, guys, 5th June or 6th July, whichever is earlier, 5th June. Okay, 5th June is the time of supply as per section 14. On 5th June, what is the rate? 5% or 12%? 5%. So on this supply, which happened on 10th May, what is the rate applicable? 5%. 5%. Even though supply happened before the change, when the rate was 12%, but what would be the rate applicable? 5%. Okay. Therefore, the applicable rate for supply as per section 14 is 5%. That is the rate on the date of time of supply. What is the date of time of supply, people? 5th June. On that day, what was the rate, people? 5%. That will be applicable. That would be applicable. Yes. Make a note of it. Make a note of it. Illustration. You can just give an heading, section 14 of CGST Act, and write. Yes, now we will see illustration number 2 on section 14 itself. Supply was made on 10th May 2025. From the following particulars, find out the rate of GST applicable. Change in the rate 30th June, guys. Okay, let me draw the timeline. On 30th June 25, there is a change in the rate. So I am writing it as DOC, stands for date of change. But when did supply takes place? On 10th May. 10th May 25. Date of supply. Before or after? Before. Before. Okay. Issue of invoice 5th June 2025 and payment received on 6th July 2025. Guys, please be careful. Now supply has happened before and invoice is also before, you can observe. Whereas payment is after, which is on the supply side, people. Date of invoice. So date of invoice is on supply side. I'm just writing it here just to denote that it is on the supply side. So what would be the time of supply? Date of invoice. And what would be the rate applicable? 18%. Okay. Now don't take whichever is earlier. Please be careful. From question to question, case to case, it will vary. First, always lock. Whenever there is a change in rate of tax, which section should you apply, guys? 14. And whenever you are applying 14, first thing you have to look for is date of supply. Is it before the change or after the change? Once you lock that, then you see whether invoice date or payment date, is it falling on supply side? If not, if both is on the opposite side, take whichever is earlier. Sir, either of them is on the supply side, take straight away that. Straight away that. Oh. In the given case, supply was made before the change in the rate of tax, that is 10th May 2025. That is the date of supply, guys. Date of invoice is before the change, whereas the date of payment is after the change. Hence, the time of supply will be the date of invoice, which is in this case would be 5th June 2025. On that day, what is the rate, guys? Is it 18% or 5%? Rate was changed from 18% to 5%. So the time of supply is the date of invoice. On the date of invoice, what was the rate? 18%. Therefore, the applicable rate for the supply as per section 14 is 18%. In simple, the rate which was there on the time of supply. Yes, take down this. Take down. If you want, you can write that timeline also. Date of change is 30th June, whereas date of supply is 10th May, which is before. Which is before. When supply is before, we will always look for whether invoice date or payment date, is it before? If both is after, we will take whichever is earlier. Yes, we have one more illustration, that is illustration number 3, where I have given 6 different scenarios, guys. See here, I have mentioned everything, but in the exam, obviously this will not be given. You need to find out. Clear? Yes. Let us decide one by one. Determine the time of supply and rate of tax in the following cases. Assume rate of GST is 18%, while that on or after 1st June 2025 is 12%. Means there is a change in the rate of GST. Previously it was 18%. Now it has changed to how much? 12%. Okay. From what date? 1st June. So the date of change is 1st June, guys. Let me try to draw the timeline for it. So 1st June 25. That is the date of change. Okay. They have also given 3 different events. Date of actual provision of service, 1st April. Guys, it is happening before. Please log that first. Supply is happening when? Before the change. It is in April. Whereas change happened on what day? 1st June. So supply is before change. Date of issue of invoice 12th April, whereas date of receipt of payment is on 4th June after the change. So supply is on this side. On supply side, what is there? Date of invoice or date of payment? Date of invoice. Date of invoice. So what would be the time of supply, guys? Date of invoice, which is 12th April. On 12th April, what was the rate, people? The old rate, 18%. Okay, let me write that also. Here, the old rate was 18% and the new rate is 12%. What rate will be applicable? The rate whichever is prevalent on the date of time of supply, which is 18%. Which is 18%. First case done. Second case, the date of actual provision of service, in simple, the date of supply, guys. 31st May. 31st May. That means on this side, yes, sir. Date of supply is before the change. Just 1 day before. Is it counted? Yes. Yes. Oh. Invoice is on 14th June. After. Date of receipt of payment is 24th June. After. Both is on after. Invoice, see, please be careful. Supply is before, whereas date of invoice as well as date of payment, both is after. So what should I take? Whichever is earlier, guys. Okay. So supply is before the change. I need to take whichever is earlier, 14th June. 14th June. On 14th June, what was the rate? 12%. That will be applicable. That will be applicable. Yes. Third case. Time of supply, or sorry, date of supply is 30th May. Okay, 30th May, where it will fall? Before the change. Before the change, guys. Okay, sir. Invoice date is 13th June, which is after. Whereas date of receipt of payment is 31st May, just 1 day before the change. So, is there anything which is falling on supply side? Yes, sir. Date of payment. So that will be the time of supply. 31st May. On 31st May, what was the rate, people? 18%. That is before the change. That will be applicable. That would be applicable. Okay, sir. Next 3 scenarios are different. Please be careful. Now I am taking the date of supply to be after the change. After the change. That is on or after the change, guys. Let me write DOS. Okay. Fourth case. Date of actual provision of service, that is nothing but date of supply, is 1st June. On or after, including that day. Will it be after or before? After. Okay. So this is on this side. Date of invoice 30th May, opposite side. Date of receipt of payment 31st May, opposite side. Guys, both are on this side. Date of invoice as well as date of payment is on before side, whereas date of supply is on after side. Nothing is on the supply side. What should I take? Whichever is earlier. Whichever is earlier. So 30th May or 31st May, whichever is earlier, guys. 30th May. So what is the rate on 30th May? 18%. We will take that. 18%. Then fifth one. Date of actual provision of service is 9th June, which will come after the change. Okay, sir. Then date of invoice is 30th May 2025, which is before the change. Okay. Sorry. Yeah, this one. Before the change. Next, date of payment is 10th June, which is on this side. Date of payment is on supply side. So what should I take? Date of payment as the time of supply, which is on the supply side. On this day, what is the rate, sir? 12%. New rate. We will take the new rate. Okay. Last one. Date of actual provision of services 18th June. That is after the change. After the change. Then date of invoice is also after the change, whereas date of receipt of payment is on this date. Date of payment is here, date of invoice is here. So invoice is on supply side. So what should I take as time of supply? The date of invoice, guys. Date of invoice. So this will be taken as the time of supply. Okay, sir. What is the rate on that day? 12%. That is applicable. That is what is applicable. Easy actually. Easy guys. If you remember it properly, it becomes very easy. I will just tell you, just as a summary, I will tell you. Simple. Listen here. Whenever there is a change in the rate of GST, there are three important things we need to look into. When did supply take place? When is invoice issued? When is payment made? Okay, from whose point of view? Supplier point of view. Okay, sir. Now, if there is one event happening here, two events on the other side, or 2 here, one there, then we need to apply section 14. Sir, what if all three events before? What if all three events is after? Then there is no section 14. We need to apply with section, guys. Section 12 or section 13. Section 12 or section 13. Okay. When should we apply section 14 is, sir, there is a change in the rate of GST. So, supply has either happened here, but date of invoice or date of payment is on the opposite side. Or else supply happened here, date of invoice or date of payment is either of this is on the opposite side. Means few here, few there, like that. Only in that case we will apply section 14, guys. Is that clear? Please be careful. Three important dates are there now, which I told you. If all three falls before the change or after the change, then section 14 is not at all applicable. Section 14 is not at all applicable, guys. Is that clear? Yes. So, first thing I need to lock is, when did supply take place? Did supply take place before the change? In my example, I have taken 1st July as the date of change, okay? When did supply take place? Is it before the change or on or after the change? We need to look. Once I look into it, assume the supply is before the change. Then see either of these two, is it on the supply side? If either of this is on the supply side, then that is the time of supply. Sir, no, sir, both of them is after, sir. Then in that case, you take whichever is earlier. Simple. Guys, when supply is before, check either of the two dates, date of invoice and date of payment, which is on the supply side. That is the time of supply. If both is on the opposite side, that is after, then whichever is earlier. Oh, what is vice versa scenario? Assume supply took place after the change or on or after the change, including that date of change. Okay. Then look, either of these two dates is after the change. If yes, that is the time of supply. Sir, what if both is before the change? That is on the opposite side. Then take whichever is earlier. Take whichever is earlier, guys. Is that clear? Yes. Once you identify the supply, simple. Just check which is on the supply side. If only one event is on the supply side, then take that as time of supply. If both the events is on the opposite side, then take whichever is early. That's all, guys. That's the game. Yeah, make a note of this. All 6 scenarios talks about different dates. Please be careful. While writing down, please observe the dates and why we have taken the time of supply as the respective dates. And on that day, whatever is the rate, that would be the applicable rate. Make a note of it.